Death is one of those things that we know it's coming, but we rarely think of it. When I first heard about Charlie Kirk's death, I wasn't really thinking about his politics or what people thought about him. I was struck by how quick life can change. He woke up that morning like any of us, probably with plans, expectations, and more than likely, hope for the future. His family likely assumed that it would be a normal day just like any other day. But in a single moment, everything changed. And that reminded me of a sobering truth. None of us are promised tomorrow. Life is fragile and eternity is closer than what we think. Let's dive in.
Lewis Works.
This video is not about politics or sides. This is not what this video is about. And you've got people who say he's a hero on one side, and you've got another side that says he's a villain. I don't really think my 2 cents is really going to change what people think. I think people are already stuck on what they think about him, and that's not what this video is about at all. I think his death is a lot bigger than politics. I think it's a lot bigger than Republicans versus Democrats, conservatives versus liberals. I think it's a huge reminder of how easy it is for life to be over in an instant. And the truth is, I'm not really good at debating to begin with. If I tried to make this a debating type video, you probably would be able to poke through those arguments anyway. There's people who's a lot smarter and a lot sharper than myself. So I'm not into trying to prove who he was and who he was not. His death also really reminded me of the shortness of life. He was only 31 years old and he died at a very, very early age. But even if he was to live 100 years old, that's very short in light of eternity. James 4:14 talks about how our life is but a vapor. And if you think about a vapor, within a few seconds, it's gone. You see it and then it's gone. And the Bible is talking about how our lives are just like that. Death just comes oftentimes unannounced, sudden, and it just creeps on us and we don't know when it's going to happen. The cemetery is full of people who thought they would have more time. And I want to encourage you that with this little bit of time that you have, use it the best way that you can. Death is almost kind of like a thief, like a thief in the night. A lot of times when it comes, you just don't know when it's gonna happen. Just like that thief that is planning on robbing you when you're asleep, when you least expect it. That's how death is. Death doesn't wait for it to be convenient. It just comes when it wants to come. Thieves don't call us and say, hey, I'm coming to break in your house now. They come when we're unprepared, when we're least ready. And that's why it's important more than ever to make sure that you're spiritually ready. You want to make sure that you practice spiritual readiness. And we practice spiritual readiness with the anticipation that Christ can return at any moment. If we live our lives like Christ would come back in any moment, then we will be seeking and striving to make sure that everything that we do is pleasing in the eyes of God. One of the greatest things that I noticed that was extremely apparent when he died was just the depravity of man. It just showed how evil people really can be. His death revealed just how dark the human heart really is. And let me be clear, it's not a political issue. It's not a left versus a right issue. It's a sin issue. It's really a condition of the heart that we're dealing with. And we're so quick to look at the opposing side and we're quick to blame them. But what we really need to be doing is looking at our own hearts. What does this death reveal about our own hearts? What kind of emotions came up when we thought about his death? What do we think about when the side that we didn't agree with, what do we think about their stance and how do we react? We need to be looking at ourselves. Romans 3:10 says, not one of us is righteous. Not one. So before you start thinking, oh, I'm right and everybody is wrong, that's probably the wrong way to look about it, because the overwhelming majority of us probably had some inappropriate thoughts, inappropriate emotions, and most of us probably reacted in a way that just was probably ungodly in many ways. It also makes me think about the value of today. We always want to think about tomorrow. We want to think about, things that we're looking for just with high expectation off in the future, but that may never come. And so we need to be valuing today. We need to be thinking about the great things that we can do today, not tomorrow. The book of Psalm instructs us for us to number our days. We have limited time here. So there's a lot of things that you may be putting off today for another day. You might say, oh, I'll get to that tomorrow. I'll get to this next week. But you may not have next week. You may need to straighten that thing out with your loved one that has been bugging you for years. Deal with that now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do that today because tomorrow's not promised. Every day that we have is a gift to focus on the things that matter and to focus on here and now. And ultimately, his death proves that we all need Jesus. We all need Jesus because we're not going to be here forever. When it's all said and done, it doesn't matter what people thought about you. It doesn't matter what the news says about you. It doesn't matter what your family says about you. Ultimately, are you right with Christ? Do you know him? Have you repented and trusted in Christ? Have you forsaken your sin? That's what's important. Religion, money, fame, politics, ethics, they can't save you from death. Only Jesus can. Only Jesus can save you from death. The cross shows how much he loves us. It shows his great love for us. But the resurrection shows his great power and how he defeated death. Romans 5:8 says, but God demonstrates his own love toward us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Now imagine that. While you was in sin, while you was actively doing the things that the Lord has commanded you not to do, he died for you. That's powerful. People will do good things for people who are good, but oftentimes if you're a person who is just living their life wild and just doing crazy and bad things, people typically won't do things for that kind of person. But Christ demonstrated his love that while we was hating him, while we mocked him, and while we just lived in ways that just didn't please him, he died for us. Without Christ, death is the end. There's nothing left after you die but hell. But with Christ, death is just the beginning. John 11:25-26 says, I'm the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even if he dies. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? At the end of the day, do you believe that? That is the thing that matters. When you die, is that what you believe? And if you really believe on it, you'll act on it. If you really believe on it, if you really believe that he is the way, the truth, and the life, that he is the resurrection and the life, you'll do whatever it takes to know him. Life is short and people are broken. And only Jesus gives hope beyond the grave. None of us are promised tomorrow. The question is, are you ready if today was your last day? If you don't know Jesus, don't wait. Today is the day of salvation. Because when death comes, and it will, the only thing that matters is whether you belong to him or not. See you in the next video. If you like what you saw today, subscribe and tap that notification bell. Until next time, stay diligent.
Want more? Watch one of these videos next. And don't forget to subscribe to stay updated.